Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to do an unboxing review of the Nintendo Switch. Let's check it out. Now, all over North America, the Nintendo Switch was launched last night. So if you were a lucky pre-order person and you were able to score one of these, good for you. If you were one of those brave souls that were out, depending on where you are in the world, you were probably either in the cold, in the heat, just waiting to get one of these. Again, congratulations. For the rest of us, I just wanted to share what could you expect once you're able to purchase one of these, because this bad boy is sold out. I haven't been able to see in really any of the big box retailers any availability. So if, as you're watching this video, you do see some availability, leave it in the comment area below for those people who are interested. Now, let's go ahead and do an unboxing, and we'll talk about the Switch. So in the box, you're going to find your Nintendo Switch, and we'll go over this in a couple minutes. We have some controllers. So you have a controller here and a controller here. So you have two controllers, or you can use them like this. You'll see that once we set it up. You do have, wow, HDMI cable. So you have an HDMI cable included. You have a power brick, but don't worry, it is a USB-C power brick, but you don't need this because it has an onboard battery. So we'll use this to charge. You have here a looks like a little lanyard. We're going to see what this is a little bit later, but it looks like we'll check out and see what this is. What else do we have here? So this is a virtual controller. I call it virtual because you're going to take these components right here and you're going to connect it into each one of these sides, and it's going to create a standard controller. Not the best controller from what I've seen, but it's going to give you that controller functionality. These can be used independently, or they can be connected into this to give you more of a gaming experience. All right, let's see what else we got. On this side, it looks like, yeah, this is the docking station. So appreciate that Nintendo included an HDMI. And with the rest of the packaging, what it looks like is this is the dock. So that's great. You don't have to buy that. We're going to explain what this is in a couple of seconds. So just to recap, you have your docking station, HDMI, your controllers, a control solution to turn it more into a standard gaming controller. This is actually a lanyard that allows you to make sure that you don't lose your controller, so you can put it around your wrist for some of the gaming. You have the power, you have the game. Let's talk about the features. So now let's talk about the Switch. For those of you who may not be too familiar with what Nintendo is doing, really this solution is a hybrid solution. I call it a hybrid gaming system because typically what you think about the Nintendo DS was a portable unit that was really intended and designed to work as a handheld. The Switch, however, is designed to work as a handheld as well as a console. So if you think about your Xbox and your PlayStation, where you have it connected, and even like the previous Nintendo Wii, where it was connected to your TV, this unit with this docking station serves both purposes. So play it on a big screen or take it on the go, which I think is a really good approach given how most of us are playing games now on our phones. Now, from a specs perspective, really this device just weighs a little bit over a half a pound. So it's not the lightest one in the world, but it feels sturdy. It does feel well built. The screen itself, this LCD is 6.2 inches, and you're going to get a resolution of 1280 by 720. And those of you who will recognize that immediately know that that means that you're going to get 1080p resolution. This is not a 4K screen, which I think is a little disappointed when you think about a lot of the phones and the high resolution that you're seeing with some of the other devices. But nevertheless, I think you're going to be very happy with the 1080p resolution. Now, one of the things that you could do is, and one other thing to mention, don't like the way that sounds. Now, the Nintendo Switch is a hybrid solution that is a handheld as well as a console. So if you take this on the go, you'll be able to play just as you would on a phone, but if you just dock it into the docking station and have this connected to a television, you're going to have a console experience like the Nintendo Wii. Now, the resolution is going to vary based on how you're connected. If you are using this in a handheld mode, you're going to get 720p output. If you're connecting it to your television via HDMI, then you're going to get 1080p, not 4K quality. So keep that in mind. So some of the more powerful consoles, like when you're thinking about the PlayStation or the Xbox, have higher resolutions. You're looking at around 6.2 inch screen, so this is a very large screen, great for gaming, and you're also looking at around a little bit over a half a pound in weight. So it's not significantly heavy, but it is sturdy. It feels really well built, so it doesn't feel plasticky at all. It does have an NVIDIA custom Tegra processor, and I think that's one of the beauties of why the graphics are so good on this device, because they really went to who I consider the experts in the industry when it comes to graphics. Now, this is, you're going to get anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours of playtime, and it will charge if you have a power brick, which I recommend you do, especially if you use this a lot on the go. A battery backup type solution that you've seen on the channel. It has a USB-C cable that you can plug in and then charge it if you need to charge it as you're playing. It does have some stereo speakers. You can control the volume. It does have an audio jack, so you can plug in headphones to it. Micro SD capability as well, and you're going to need it because it doesn't have a lot of onboard memory. And also what you have is accelerometer, gyroscope, all the things that you would expect from a gaming system. A 4,310 milliamp hour battery, so that's going to give you that playtime. Now, Nintendo speaks to possibly getting up to 6.5 hours. It really depends on games. My experience with a unit like this that I was testing was only, almost up to 3 hours. I didn't really get the 6.5 hours. So you have to think about brightness. You have to think about the gyroscopes, how much the game requires movement. So it could vary. But again, what they post is anywhere from 2.5 to 6.5. Now, the other thing that you have also is 3 hours to charge the unit. Now, taking a look at the switch, here on the bottom, you'll notice is your USB-C connector. Thank God for standards and them applying it. You do have your little kick stand here. I would not trust this. I've been seeing too many reviews where it falls too easily. But if you want to put it on a tabletop, you can. Just make sure it doesn't get bumped because it is going to fall down. Here's where you would slide each one of these controllers on each side. And you can see where you would slide that there. On the top here, you have your power and you have your volume, and then you have kind of a heat sink here to let the heat out, headphone jack, and then here you have your gaming card. So really, that's all there is to it. Now, the speakers are found here on each side. Let's see if you can see that right there. There and there. And because there's only 32 gig of online onboard memory, you're going to want to get a micro SD card. And you'll notice that, let's see if you can see it right there, that's where it's hidden, right underneath the actual kickstand. So that's where you're going to put your expansion memory. Over here, obviously, is where you're going to put your game card. Now, one of the other things that I found that is unfortunate about the Switch is that it is not Bluetooth. So you will only be able to have wired connection when it comes to headphones. There are adapters that you can put in to get Bluetooth type experience, but for now, you have to be tethered. Alright, so the controllers slide in, as you can see here, and each controller can be used for gaming purposes together, or what you could do is, depending on the game, one is going to be used with one person and one is used for the other. Pretty simple. All you do is just slide it in and it clicks into place, and on the back there's this release button right here that all you do is press and it comes out. Now, for the initial setup, you do have to have everything in place, locked into place, but this is what the unit's going to look like. Now, I do have some cases, glass screen protectors coming in for review, so suppliers and accessory creators are starting to send things that we'll put on the channel, but right now there is a screen protector case combo available that we're going to review right after this video for those of you who are looking to protect it. I do recommend, because it's a portable unit, that you do want a case, and given the size of the screen, you do want to have a screen protector on this because there's really no cover. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So this is what everything looks like as it's connected. Now let's take a look at the docking station. Now, the docking station itself has 2 USB ports that allow you to expand. Inside, you have HDMI out, USB, and your AC adapter, which is nice because it keeps everything, nicely tucked in. So that's the back. The front right here, you'll notice that there are some connectors there. Let's see if you can get that on camera. There you go. So there is a little docking mechanism that's taking place. So as soon as you slide it into place, it just takes like a second for it to pop up on screen. So this is nice because you can have this in front of your TV. It could be, especially if you have one of those TV stands. If you are, have it mounted on the wall, this is not going to work for you unless you mount it somewhere on the wall where you can connect it. So, but this is what the docking station looks like, and then also some of the connections that you have on the back. Now, if you're looking for more of a standard console type experience, you can always use this kind of control adapter. Slide things in, and then you'll have kind of the Xbox PlayStation experience. You can see how that connects in the back. It does have kind of have a little lanyard or area right here to tie this up. I don't know for what reason, but it's there. You'll notice that you have kind of like the buttons that you would expect on the larger controllers. Some people have said that they really don't like this too much, so they actually purchased the $70 remote. So there is a additional remote that you can purchase for $70 that is more Xbox PlayStation like, if that's something you're looking for. Now, it's easy to separate things, and these components or the remote control are chargeable, so they have to charge. And then this little button that you see right here, just like we showed earlier, as soon as you push that button, it comes out, and then you can just snap it back in, and you do get some audible feedback when that takes place. Now, the kind of lanyard, and it has also some additional accessories here. You just slide it in like this, and this is going to help keep the remote in your hand, especially if you're doing some boxing games or swinging, and some of us have butterfingers and things just come out. So this is going to give you the ability to hold on to something. We saw this a lot with the Wii remotes, where they had the little lanyard on there that you can, or wrist strap, and it's adjustable so you can keep the remote in your hand and not damage it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the startup process. We're going to go ahead and power it up, just so you can see what you can expect. As soon as you power it up, you notice that it came up asking to put the controllers in place, which I did. So now we're seeing the standard startup. Screen is real nice and bright. We're just going to go ahead and go through the setup. So let's go ahead and go through the setup. I'm going to choose, it comes in multiple languages. I always get questions on how many languages it supports. You can see all the languages that are available on release day. Where you are, your location. You can look at the user agreement. I don't, and everyone that I know of doesn't, so we'll just hit accept and next. And now it's going to search for network. All you have to do is find your network on the list, enter your password for your network, and then we'll connect. Now what you see is this message here that it's going to go ahead and connect to the network. There is an online marketplace. It's not available day one, at least I haven't seen it, and from what I've been looking at the reviews, it hasn't been available for usage. There are a limited number of games. I'd say probably the best game that's available now is going to be Zelda. There are, I think, around 5 games that are available, but that's the best one. So if you are considering the Switch for as a gift, this is the must-have game. So and as we wait for the newer games to come out, there's also plans in bringing a lot of the retro games back to the Switch. So if you have someone who is an avid Nintendo DS or Wii, there's plans on bringing some of those games over as well. Now the next step in the process was to choose your time zone, which I did, and then what you do is you can actually connect your Switch to the TV. I'm going to do that later. It's giving you now some instructions on how to detach. We've already went through that. And what we'll do is we'll just do OK. It looks like it wants us to do that. So we're going to go ahead and do the detach and see what it says. Now I didn't do a full detach. I just brought them up so that it recognizes that they weren't connected, and now it's allowing me to go to the next one. Now it says that I could use the left and left stick to select next, and then press A on the right controller. I think this is just going through kind of like a little training. So we're going to go ahead and remove the controllers fully so you can see how that works. We'll place it here, and we'll go ahead and follow the instructions. So all I'm going to do is use the left stick, and you'll notice that as I'm moving, it's moving up and down, and then it says to press A to select. We'll go ahead and select. Now it's giving you some additional instructions on things that you can use. You'll need the following: HDMI cable, the power switch if you are going to be connecting it to a TV. It's going through everything we discussed, which is a nice tutorial. They're really going to save on support calls by doing this, so that's a nice approach. And now what you can do is go through the process of connecting it and seeing it on screen. So what I'll do is I'll switch so you can see how fast that works. Alright, so I went ahead and successfully connected the Switch to my television. I just wanted to show you how fast it is. So here I have the docking station and the power and the cable there. I'm going to remove it, and now you can see how it's on screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it in, snap it into place, and there it is on screen. So that's how fast the actual switching is, which means you could be playing a game and then undock it and then take it with you. Now here you're going to have this LED that's lighting up and it's showing you that it's charging. So again, have it as the gaming console and then take it on the go, so you really never have to stop playing. So now that I have everything connected to the TV, I'm just going to continue with the larger screen format Just makes sense with the overall workflow that they have. And I'm again going to be using these controllers to control the experience. You'll notice that on the sides of the controllers you do have some buttons here, and then you also have the ability to see the charging level of the battery. So what we're going to do is, obviously there's no USB connector on these. One has an IR, looks like an IR blaster right there, but when you put it into the switch, they charge. So you want to make sure that you fully charge these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And at this point, I can actually choose my icon. What do I want? Again, my persona to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. Now, once you've selected your icon, or the image that you want to do to represent yourself, then what you do is you give yourself a name. So, and this is something you can change at any time, which is pretty neat. So I'm going to go ahead now and just hit next to see what the next step is. So this will be added to my console. Hit OK. And now what I could do is, if my console is going to be used by multiple people, I can create other users, which is cool because then my gameplay and my game location is going to be saved only for me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit skip. I'm not going to add another user at this time. You could add some parental controls. Let's go ahead and look at what some of the options are there. So you can set playtime, play activity notifications, restrict some features. So for parents that may be watching this video, or you young guys that don't want your parents to know about this, you can set playtimes. You can restrict the time in which people or your children are playing with the unit, so that you can actually control and make sure that everyone's doing their homework, because it is very addicting. Now, once you've gone through the parental controls, all you have to do is hit the home button that's here on the remote, because it's complete. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now it takes you to the ability to insert a game to start for gameplay. So the next step that we're going to go through is actually inserting a game cartridge into the unit. So here you have, let's make sure you get this in focus right here for a second. So here's Zelda. Very small cartridge. And the neat thing about this is that you can actually change the game cartridges without removing the actual switch from the docking station. So all you have to do is open up the top and slide it in. So we're going to do that so you can see what pops up on the screen. So now, as soon as you plug in the cartridge, and I want to say it's like sub-second, you're going to see the icon for Zelda pop up. So it loads very fast. Now, the remote controls, as you detach them, these remotes, you're going to get some messaging here. As you'll notice on the bottom left-hand corner where you have some the remotes and it's showing the battery life. Well, as soon as you take them out of the dock or out of the switch, it's going to tell you that it's being removed. So there's a lot of feedback on the screen that you'll see. You'll also notice on the upper right-hand corner, you do have the time of day. You see your Wi-Fi and also your battery level. You see on the upper left-hand corner, you see the little icon with some of the one that you've selected for your avatar. Here you see news. You have Nintendo eShop, album. You have your controllers, system settings, and you can go into sleep mode. Let's see what they have in the eShop. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And it says it requires an update. Of course it does. So we're going to go ahead and go through the update and just let it do its update. And we'll say OK. I'll let you know how long it takes, but I'll go ahead and pause the recording. Now, the update itself took no more than a minute to download and about less than a minute to apply, and then the reboot was really fast, which is cool. I hope all their updates are like that. It doesn't seem like it was a major one. In order to be able to use, I would say, the store, you're going to need to sign in and create an account. So we'll do that in a second. So let's go ahead, before going in there, let's look at what's in system settings and see if what options you have. So you have airplane mode, screen brightness, screen lock. You have your parental controls, internet. Data, you have also data management. You have users. You can create a my character, register the owner and the game data. You have themes that you can have, notifications. All right, sleep mode. You can see what's in there. Controllers and sensors, vibration on, and you can calibrate things. TV settings, and then you have system info. Doesn't seem like there's much more there. So console sound, mute, headphones. Again, one of the negative things about this is that it has no Bluetooth again, so that's kind of a little disappointing. So let's go ahead and come back out, and I'm going to go ahead and go into the eShop, and I'm going to go ahead and sign in as EBPMAN, and I'm going to create an account. So this is what the online store looks like. You're going to have to set up the account once on the Switch, and then you'll get an email, set up the account a second time, and it's going to give you a code that you'll use to join the account with the Switch. If you're doing this for a child, you can set this up as an adult setting it up for a child, or if you're setting it up for yourself, you have those choices. All right, so this is just to give you an idea of what you will see online gameplay, so you can play against others using the internet. You have gaming sessions, so you can do. There's a chat app. Again, so we're going to go ahead and hit continue and see what else is there. It's taking a couple seconds to load. We're going to go ahead and enter a password for Nintendo account. I'm going to skip that for now. It's going to ask me to put in my password to confirm my identity, so I'll go ahead and do that. Now, once I've updated my password, now this is the eShop, and wow, there's a lot of games. There's more games available. So here we can look at some of the releases that you could get at the stores, but these are digital, obviously. There's only, what does it look like, 3, 6, 9 games available. Some of them are cheaper than others. You can see from $19 all the way up to $59. Let's cancel this. Don't want to leave out of this. Coming soon. Let's see what it has coming soon. So these are some of the games that are going to be released, and it looks like there's at least 3 games coming out in the next month or next day. 1 game in the next day, and then probably the following month we'll see more. And it looks like you can actually get a prepaid code for downloads. So that's nice. Let's go back. And let's see. I wonder if it has a preview. So if you were to choose a game, what does it do? So, okay, so you can do a purchase. It looks like you can see artwork, but I don't see any trailers yet. Maybe that's something that they'll add at a later date. Because all you can do is, let's see if there is, if we can see any kind of trailer. No, I'm not able to see if it has any trailers. Let's see. Oh, there's a trailer. All right, so you have some trailers, which is pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and go back and let's look at some gameplay now. So we're going to hit close this out of the store. And let's look at what the startup for Zelda will look like. When I choose that, of course, we have to download software again. So we're going to download it. Hopefully it's as fast as the other one. And we'll see. I'll keep you on just for a second just to see how long it's going to take. And it's going pretty fast. Now, one of the things I did notice is that the Switch does support both 2G and 5G home networks, which is nice. So I'm going to pause it, let it continue, and then we'll come back to it. All right, so here's our startup into Zelda. So far, good audio coming out of the television, nice graphics. It just took about 2 minutes for the update that we just saw. So we're going to watch as it's starting up just to get a sense of what the experience is going to look like. Now, as we did the unboxing, as this is coming up, we talked about this lanyard. There's actually 2 in the box. I didn't see one of them, but there's actually 2 of them. So you have one for each one for your wrist straps. Very nice graphics. Things look really, really crisp. So, great audio, no stutter. Things look really smooth. And again, this is the game, the must-have game if there's a game that you're considering. Cinematic trailer was a little long, so I paused that, but I just wanted to show you gameplay. So you'll notice moving around. I can change the perspective with this one. I can move my character around quite easily. No issues with that. Everything is really responsive. And again, it's what you would expect from a Zelda game. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you in gameplay is the remote. So I connected everything. You'll notice that you have your battery level shows up here. And once again, as you're moving around, all you're getting is kind of the handles on the side that make it somewhat easier. I think it's going to come down to personal preference. I like the actual small joysticks. It doesn't bother me. But really, you're having the same experience as you would, as close as you can to a larger console. Now, the last thing I wanted to point out before we conclude the review is that the screen itself doesn't really look like allows you to do much when it comes to movement. So it doesn't look like I can control my character at all. Um, so you have to have the controls connected on each side. That may not be a big deal for most, but if you're used to using a phone and tapping the screen and having things take place, that's not going to happen. So everything must have the controller. So this concludes my review, unboxing, and setup of the Nintendo Switch. Hopefully you were lucky enough to get your hands on one of these. If you haven't, check out the video. If you have, share your experience below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Check out this video if you're interested. And as always, thanks for watching.